Hi guys, welcome to Encounter Online. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've had a good summer, that you've got back to school all right. Let us know in the comment section. We want to hear from you guys. You're joining us on a 3-part series on survival. And off the back of that, here's our first challenge. So for this next bit, you're going to need a book, you're going to need a bit of paper, and you're going to need a pen. You've got 20 seconds to go and get those 3 things. Go, 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 go! I'm going to read this. Oh, I'm not going to read it. It smells awful. Oh, this is a practical book. I actually, let us know in the comment section when you've got stuff, because this is apparently going to be fun. I don't know what we're doing, but I don't know how long you've got left. Like maybe 5 seconds, maybe 7 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. Okay, quick, sit down or stand up. It doesn't matter, because I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing?
Put the book on your head.
Okay.
Now put the paper on top of that.
Okay.
And you've got 60 seconds
Right.
to draw these 3 things. Are you ready?
Nope.
Are you ready now?
Yep.
Okay. They are food, water, and air. Ready, steady, go!
What food? How do you draw air? Hurricane. Is that a hurricane? Do hurricanes look like anything? You guys are being awfully quiet. I don't know what I'm doing. What's my favourite food? Pizza. I'll do easy to draw pizzas. That must have been 60 seconds by now. I need to cut the... I've only been doing it for flipping 30 seconds. Are you kidding me? How many slices does pizza come in? What's my favourite pizza topping? I'll do pepperoni. Wind. No. Air. Water. Food. No, I did food. Which one didn't I do? Water.
10 seconds.
I'm going to draw a glass of water.
5,
I think that's a
4,
glass.
3, 2, 1, stop!
Oh, I don't like this. Perfect. My hair smells awful. I don't like this.
This is not good. Doris Johnson's just found the Unfinity helmet and 1 of the Unfinity Stones. My name is Dare Stills, and this is my adventure. Woo! stop Doris before he gets all of the Unfinity Stones. I'm gonna need some help.
Hey, alright, boy? Oh, I heard you needed some help.
You can keep up with the Norvengers over the next 2 encounters. We've got one in November and one in December. And if you want to get interactive and help find the Unfinity Stones, in the description box below, we've got the coordinates to the geocache locations of them. Okay, so now we're going to go into our time of worship, and then straight after we'll go into our message with Ben. Worship is how we as Christians show our love for God. So I'm going to very quickly, short prayer, and then we'll get straight into a song. So God, I just thank you that we've all got the opportunity to be here to engage with you. I just pray that in our everyday that we'd be open to hearing from you. Amen.
Saturday was silent, surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment, Sunday's empty too. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise making dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Resurrection power runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise making dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that He can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden. What happens when God says to move? I feel it moving it now. I feel it doing it now. I feel it doing it now. Doing now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise making dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm one of the new gap years here at Norwich for Christ. I come from Manchester, and one thing you need to know about me is that I don't like to be wrong. If you ask my brother, he'd tell you that I like to be right all the time, which I can't really deny. However, I prefer to pretend that I'm profound and say that I like to discern the truth, but basically, I disagree with people a lot. When you look objectively at common debates, you usually find that neither side is perfect, which of course means I get to be right no matter which side you're on. But in all seriousness, we do need to think about how we take up a position while also staying civil. Because we see a lot of conflict when people disagree. So much that politics, a topic that is so essential, is banned from the family dinner table. And it's mainly not the arguments that people are saying, it's just the way that people make them. They commonly don't really show compassion. So I've devised 5 main points to focus on, as well as noting how Jesus displayed those things. So the first one is don't make it personal. If you make it personal, then you lose the point, and if you're arguing, even if at the end of the debate you win the argument technically, if you've lost the original point, it doesn't matter because you haven't convinced the other person of the point that you were trying to make in the first place. This is shown by Jesus a lot of the time, because a lot of the time when people would challenge him, he would just quote the scriptures back. That would be all that he'd say. One of the examples of this is in Matthew 14:2, when the Pharisees come to Jesus and say, why do your disciples play fast and loose with the rules? Jesus replies and says, why do you use your rules to play fast and loose with God's law? So the first one, don't make it personal. Second one, keep your cool. Shouting doesn't work. If you're shouting at someone and they're shouting back at you and then everybody's shouting, you can't even hear each other, so nobody's going to change their mind. So even if the person says something really that you don't agree with, don't get annoyed. That shows a much better example than getting annoyed at them does. And this is seen in Jesus all the time because he very, very rarely gets annoyed. The example that everybody uses that they know of Jesus getting annoyed is when he flips the tables in the temple, which is Matthew 21:13. But that is when things are non-negotiable. It's he's not up for an argument, he's not listening to anyone else, he's just saying, he just says, it is written, my house will become a house of prayers and you've made it a den of thieves. And he's just there's no replying to this, I'm not having an argument. So when you're having an argument, you got to keep your cool. Third one is show your love. You've got to let the other person see that you're coming from a good place. If they think that you're trying to be malicious and you're trying to cause bad things to happen, they're not going to want to listen to your point. And this is something that is shown by Jesus all the time, and he was never afraid to show his love. And one of, I think, the best displays of that is in Matthew 8:2, when he's healing, one of the many times that he heals a leper. He comes up to him and he says, Master, if you are willing, you can make me clean. And Jesus says to him, I am willing. So don't make it personal, keep your cool, show your love. Fourth one, find the common ground. Most people are commonly arguing the same outcome, just different methods. So one of the best displays of this is that a lot of the arguments in the Bible are just ways to reduce human suffering, and people that disagree with it just think that they know a better way. So you've got to find the fact that actually most of the time you probably want to achieve the same goal, you're just using a different method. And this is shown by Jesus in Matthew 23:1. This is when, just before he's about to completely tear into the Pharisees, he calls them frauds over and over and over again. It's because he's not a big fan of them. But he starts it by saying, the religious scholars and Pharisees are competent teachers of the law. You won't go wrong following their teachers on Moses. And he starts it by agreeing technically with them and finding a common ground, and then goes on to say, but these are the things that I have an issue with. And then the fifth thing to remember is be humble. You got to remember that no matter what discussion you're going into, no matter how much you think you know about it, the other person might know more than you, and they might they might bring up a point you've never even heard of, thought about before. So you just got to stay humble, which is one of the main things that Jesus did. He was just the master of humility. It's the main example for me is in Matthew 26:39. That this is when Jesus knows that he's going to be going to get crucified. He's up on the mountain and he's crying. He's crying out to God and he's saying, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. And that's all he says. It's for me, if I was Jesus and I just lived a life without sin, completely perfect, and I got to this point and I just I was on a rock and God was oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you by crucifying you, I'd be are you kidding me? It's I just lived this life like all the way up to this point, it's like completely free of sin, and I've done all these great things. It's like, oh, how are you going to reward me? Are you going to sacrifice me, like, pretty much? But he doesn't say that. He just doesn't even think about himself. He just says, yet, not as I will, but as you. So yeah, just a quick recap. Don't make it personal, keep your cool, show your love, find the common ground, and be humble. But even with these things, you still have to consider one thing, which is, through free will, you cannot change anyone's mind. You can only convince them to change it themselves. And when it comes to Christianity, only God changes minds. His church, His power, His grace, His word, His love, that's what changes minds, and then attitudes, and then lives, until the work's finished. So never underestimate your power when you believe and trust in Him. And always remember, stay faithful, question everything, and spread love, not gems.
How good was that? Thank you, Ben, for sharing that with us. And he's right, because being kind and compassionate is going to be way more important than making sure that you win an argument with a friend or a family member. Because in a few weeks, a few days, if you're anything like me, you're going to have forgotten why you were even arguing in the first place. And ultimately, it's God's spirit and power in us that's going to help convince our friends. So we're going to go into another song now, but while we're listening to this, why don't you have a think about how you can ensure that you always keep the right attitude with you when you're having a debate with a friend or family member.
He is jealous for me. Love's like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you really enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to the Norwich Youth for Christ channel because we've got a lot more stuff coming, especially with the Norvengers, and share this video with a friend if you think it'll bless them or put a smile on their face. Thanks for watching. Peace. You guys can Photoshop a microphone into that, right?
Yeah?
Okay, cool. I can't. How'd you get out of this room?
Go down.